Oklahoma. This is from KFOR. It has been a busy week for those folks. They've been out tracking storms and flooding across the Oklahoma City metro area, including Norman. And right now you are looking at some ominous skies. Earlier today, the Norman area saw hail from some of those thunderstorms. In addition to more rain, we've seen a lot of flooding across the Norman area as well. There's a look at the scene in Norman. We are covering our weekend triple threat. We've got a little bit of everything: snow, severe, and tropical. I'm meteorologist Alex Wilson. And you know, you heard me mention that hail. Look at this. This was yesterday during severe weather in Norman, where you were just looking at some dark skies. Hailstones as big as golf balls. Some parts of the southern plains reported hail the size of softballs. I know you're thinking about the effects that would have on your car, and I think those folks are as well. I know earlier in the week at the Will Rogers Airport, every indoor covered parking spot was taken. We've got plenty of watches and warnings in play right now. Tornado watches for eastern Colorado, parts of Nebraska, Kansas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Texas, and warnings in play as well. So let's turn things over to severe weather expert Dr. Greg Forbes.
Thanks, Alex. Yeah, and indeed, we do have tornado warnings in each of those red tornado watch areas, especially in parts of southeast Colorado, where we've had quite a few reports of tornadoes today. There, can you see the counterclockwise spin in this type of satellite imagery we call water vapor? We use that to show the mid-level and upper-level winds. So they're coming in from the south here. That's where the cold pocket aloft is coming in. Then look at all this red and orange. That is some dry air that is shot in. But there's a bit of a boundary across there left over by some of the morning storms that gave such heavy rain again for central Oklahoma. Storms are firing on that across north central and northeast parts of Texas. So we'll take a look here. There is still one tornado warning. That's the one that chasers have been showing us video from in southeast Oklahoma. It can't go too much farther to the north. It'll run into cooler air. There's a front across east central parts of Colorado. And then there's been a tornado in this storm that's crossed over the border into Oklahoma, north of Wichita Falls. Several other storms not far away there with tornado warnings on them from the Red River in the Texas-Oklahoma border area. So we'll start with this one that has gone past the Burke-Burnett area. We've had a report of a stovepipe tornado near Randlet, just west of Randlet, with this storm that is now coming up into Oklahoma. Cotton County in Oklahoma, you're under tornado warning. And tracking this one out, it looks like it might be gusting out. See this little green line getting out ahead of the heavier rain. But still, there could be a tornado coming toward Taylor and Waurika. You see the 6:40 to 7:26 time frame there. Probably it will go close to Temple also about 7 o'clock. This storm had a tornado warning on it. You can still see that it has a hook echo. Could be golf ball size or larger. This is the storm that earlier produced tornado back around the Cisco-Mangum area, Eastland, Erath, Palo Pinto counties. This one getting closer to the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And in between, just to the north of that one, south of the one near Wichita Falls, Young County. That one also now is severe warned. Earlier had been tornado warned. So some improvement there. Storms that are crossing, I'll move this just a little bit, crossing over in from Texas into the Oklahoma area, Bryan, Johnston, and Marshall counties. This is a pair of storms that came from around the Gainesville, Texas area, heading up north just to the west of Kingston in Oklahoma, and just a little bit to the south of that. I think I need to slide this one a little bit south. No, the storm to the south is no longer tornado warned, but there are a pair of storms running across the same areas there, as you see. So there's a chance that the second one could also, heading up toward the Medill area, produce a possibility of a tornado. Then again, right along the Texas-Oklahoma border, Franklin, Red River, and Titus counties, right near the Talco area at this point, going kind of northbound up toward the area just to the south and east of Clarksville, Oklahoma, and farther to the east. Again, this one just into Texas, but heading toward Oklahoma. Bowie and Little River counties. This is off to the north and west of Texarkana, heading toward the, I believe that is, I'll slide a little bit, that is the Ashdown area where that tornado is heading toward. So dangerous storms there. Jumping up then into Colorado, the remaining tornado warned storm about to cross Highway 40 now, just to the west of Cheyenne Wells. So be very careful there. It's not going to hit very many communities, but 5 or 6 miles west of Cheyenne Wells, you could have a bit of a problem. So at the moment, Mostly it's on the boundaries of where the really warm air is. In these areas are where the tornado threat is. But later on this evening and into the nighttime hours, some of that activity could push its way back into the areas that have had a little bit of cloud and rain earlier today. So the threat is not over if it hasn't come to you yet, and it will come farther to the east tomorrow. Torcon values of 5 in Iowa tomorrow, and down along the front, 5 also in parts of southeast Texas, maybe near Waco, maybe near Austin, maybe near the San Antonio area. So this is going to be a multi-day severe weather event still. Alex?
Absolutely, Dr. Forbes. So stay weather aware and keep that weather safety plan ready to go. We want to talk now about the tropics, or at least the southeast coast, where Tropical Storm Ana has already had impacts in places like Myrtle Beach. You can see the winds whipping the flags around. Some high surf and rip currents have been a big problem along some of those North and South Carolina beaches. Let's get more from our storm specialist, Carl Parker.
Only 7 storms in the record have made an earlier landfall than this one. It's going to be making landfall overnight tonight as a tropical storm. Right now, a 60-mile-per-hour tropical storm. So close to a hurricane, but not close enough, and it's not going to become a hurricane, we don't believe. It should stay steady probably and then begin to weaken slowly over the next several hours here, and it's now moving very slowly off to the northwest at 3 miles per hour. Let's take a look at what's going on with the intensity forecast from the Hurricane Center, and we'll show you why we believe it's not going to get stronger. For one thing, it's getting very close to shore. There's the intensity forecast, taking it down to below tropical storm force, we think, by later tomorrow. And what happened with this storm overnight last night and early today is that it passed over the very warm water of the Gulf Stream. It's like a river of warm water within the ocean, and as a result, the storm passed right over that and got a lot stronger. We're going to talk more about that. We're not going to talk to Dr. Forbes right now. He's not in position. So, okay, he's coming, and let's go ahead and get over to Dr. Forbes.
So we have a tornado now being reported in our storm, that southeast storm that I was talking about in Colorado. Let's take a look at some of the video that is coming in. This is a storm that has come up toward the Cheyenne Wells area. You're seeing there, I believe, a big tornado, or at least a big lowering there, right at the center of the screen. I can't tell whether there's a dust cloud down at the ground that would indicate that there's a tornado in progress. They've just panned up now. You can. Kelly Williamson is on the phone. Kelly, are you seeing circulation at the ground? Oh,
We've
now
got
it is.
A tornado on the ground right now.
Yeah, there it is. You can see now the circulation is all the way to the ground, right in the middle of the photograph there, folks. And how many tornadoes have you seen today, Kelly?
I think this is number 3.
Yeah, that storm there that's now heading up toward the area near Cheyenne Wells has been a very active one. There's been many reports of tornadoes with this one. It looks like it's crossing the highway there west of Cheyenne Wells. Where are you? Are you relative to the tornado? Are you west or south?
I'm just to the west of the tornado. The tornado is going to be, it looks like maybe just to the west of Cheyenne Wells.
Yeah, it looks to me that's exactly correct, Kelly. I would think that it is going to cross about 8 miles west of Cheyenne Wells, looking at the radar here. How long have you seen, has this tornado been touching in contact with the ground? Do you know?
This one here, I think just a few minutes. Man, we're in some real intense hail right now. It's just kind of going up and down, but every time it comes down, it seems like it's just a little bigger.
Yeah, this one is the biggest that we've seen thus far, at least up at Cloud Base. It has a pretty well-defined wall cloud. Has that been the character of the multiple tornadoes you've seen today, that they've sort of been brief, but you've been able to follow the circulation?
Yeah, most of it's just been kind of an elephant trunk, but this one right here, it looks like it's going to be something a lot bigger.
All right, thank you very much. That's Kelly Williamson in southeast Colorado, following a tornado just west of Cheyenne Wells. We have other tornadoes in Texas and Oklahoma. We'll be back after these messages. Stay tuned.
Currently in our area, 81 degrees under fair skies. Tonight, thunderstorms early, low 75. Chance of rain, 90%. Sunday, sun and a few passing clouds. High 87. Sunday night, mostly clear. Low 76. Winds southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Be one with it, and it will be one with you. Be one with your tires, and the road will be one with you. Hankook Tires.
Hankook Tire. Be one with the road, no matter the conditions.
So you ready for the night? And don't it feel nice?
Summer never looks so good. Bud Light Lime. Same 100% natural lime flavor in a new bottle. Summer on.
Every inch, every minute, every second, we chip away at finding inspiration to reimagine luxury, making the colors of earth and sunset skies into rich interior accents, or putting the beauty of a forest in the palm of your hands. It will take you to another place, wherever you happen to be. Made with pride, crafted with passion. This is the 2015 Jeep Grand Cherokee. It is the best of what we're made of.
So nice, so nice. Sweet, sweet scent of most nice. So nice, so nice. Send cry full of pure vibes. So nice, so nice. Send John a real paradise. So nice, so proud to be from the Virgin Islands and the whole place nice.
To experience your Virgin Islands nice, book one of our packages today.
Joseph A. Bank presents Look Sharp, Save Smart. Purchase one sport coat, receive a second sport coat, and 2 pants free. Joseph A. Bank, the new tradition since 1905.
I've got plans, and this is my baby right now. So it's just not the right time to get pregnant. That's why I chose Skyla. Skyla is the small, flexible IUD that prevents pregnancy for up to 3 years. So for me, there are no daily pills or monthly refills. I got my Skyla placed in just a few minutes at my OBGYN's office. And if I want to try to get pregnant, I can get it removed whenever I want.
If you have a pelvic infection, get infections easily, or have certain cancers, don't use Skyla. Less than 1% of users get a serious infection called PID. If you have persistent pelvic or stomach pain, or if Skyla comes out, tell your doctor. Skyla may attach or go through the uterus and cause other problems. Pregnancy while using Skyla is uncommon, but can be life-threatening and may result in loss of pregnancy or fertility. Ovarian cysts may occur, but usually disappear. Bleeding and spotting may increase in the first 3 to 6 months and remain irregular. Periods over time usually become shorter, lighter, or may stop. Skyla does not protect against HIV or STDs.
Talk to your OBGYN about making the move to Skyla.
Check with your insurance to find out if you can get Skyla at no cost.
Let's do this. We start here, talk to her, pick up some of that, a few of those. Okay, a lot of those. Then dirt, plants, water, just a little time, and then boom. Spring. Big time. Let's do this. Plant color everywhere. 1 quart Vigoril annuals now 4 for just $10. The Home Depot. More saving, more doing.
What are we missing here, Janet? Because with citrusy peel shine, I might as well be spraying orange juice on grape juice. Get serious. Get a cleaner with bleach in it.
That's right. I'll get it.
Clorox. Bleach means clean.
And welcome back. You were looking at live pictures of where we were watching a tornado just moments ago near Cheyenne Wells in Colorado. Still seeing a circulation here, and it's fairly dry out there, Dr. Greg. We're not seeing as much of a wedge as we saw a moment ago, and we'll probably see this kind of go back and forth depending on the intensity of the storm.
Yeah, I think so, but you can still see up there in the middle of the top half of the screen there, there's still a funnel cloud associated with this, and we'll continue to monitor down near the ground. That's what you look for, folks. See if there's any dust cloud cloud that gets kicked up. The chaser, Kelly Williamson, is now, looks like they probably turned east on Highway 40 off to the west of Cheyenne Wells. Looks like the tornado crossed about 8 miles west of Cheyenne Wells. Kelly, are you with us?
Yeah, I'm with you. Right now, the rotation is right over the road.
Yeah, indeed. But from our vantage point, is it yours that the funnel has lifted?
Yeah, it's lifted right now. We've got some pretty good rotation right here. In fact, I kind of zoom in on the clouds, and you can see the clouds there rotating.
Yeah, it looks like we're looking at the edge of the mezzo there, huh?
Yep, that's right at the back edge.
And have you seen some hail? This storm has had some reports of 2-inch hail with it, just to the west of where the tornado appears to be. Have you seen or encountered any of that?
Yeah, I'm surprised I've still got a windshield. I think I just got lucky.
Well, the thing about those, the biggest hailstones, they usually come down relatively far apart. The small hail is a lot more frequent. Did you encounter some of the small hail?
Yeah, I had so much small hail that just for a little bit, I mean, the road was wide. It was like I had to put my truck in four-wheel drive. I was sliding around.
We may be losing Kelly's feed. There's some, not only a rain fade issue out there, but it's a pretty rural area. Let me advance here, and we'll see that this is a pretty rural area. Pretty strong rotation. It's now just north, probably the tornado crossed of north of I-40. He has been on Highway 40, looking east toward the storm. The tornado right there off to the west of Cheyenne Wells. It's pretty rural, but I've tracked this out for a distance. 7:23 Mountain Time. It could come up to I-70 near the Bethune area. So if this storm holds together or begins to re-intensify again and put down additional tornadoes, that's where it's heading. So from west of Cheyenne Wells up toward the Bethune area, Carl.
And brand new tornado warning to tell you about in Erath County in Texas, and we'll have more on that coming up in just a few minutes. Alex, over to you.
Right now, we want to send it out to our storm tracker, Jim Cantori. He started out in southwestern Kansas, moved into western Oklahoma. We're going to be checking in with him in just a moment, but he wanted to get himself into a place where he could get a better shot at seeing some of these storms that we do anticipate into that part of the country. He's out there with weather producer as well. And Jim, can you tell us what you're seeing out there in Beaver, Oklahoma?
On my face. I don't care. What's... Take me?
Go ahead.
Okay. Hey, remember we were telling you about the storm we were looking at to our south and west? Well, now it has gone to our west. We're still pretty much in the same area here to the north of Booker. And you can see what looks to be here. Come on over here, Brad, a little bit so we get a better angle at it. You can see kind of the back edge of at least one of the bases of that. Really bright hail shaft coming out of this earlier on. But if we look off to the right here a little bit, you'll notice the base of the other one. Now, I got to be honest with you, it looks like most of these have been pretty high based, but the back edge of that is definitely a lot lower. This is a severe thunderstorm warned on now for probably hail from what we've seen from this, probably inch diameter hail at least out of this. We'll keep an eye on it for you. Obviously, we've got a lot of wind coming in at our face. So if I turn around this way, the storm's right up to my west. Here I am to the southeast. Here comes the inflow right into that storm. So we've seen some lightning from time to time illuminate this, but right now, again, couple of pretty big hail shafts, some rain coming out of this thing as it's moving on off toward the west. So this is all on the dry line, guys, which continues to push from the Texas Panhandle on off toward the east. Some of the deeper moisture, certainly from what I've noticed from some of the observations, is down toward the south, down along I-40. That's where those dew points are in the mid-60s, and we may actually head down that way and try and intercept some of that stuff. Also getting some warnings on that for some big hail as well. All right, let's go back to the Weather Channel studios. Actually, we'll not. We're going to take you to break here in just a moment. Our severe weather coverage continues.
We got the new Temperflex, and it's got the spring and bounce of a traditional mattress.
You sink into it, but you can still move around.
And now that I have a Temperflex, I can finally get a good night's sleep.
I flop down on the bed, and it's just like, oh, this is perfect.
Wherever you put your body, it just supports you.
Like little support elves are just holding you.
I can sleep now through the night.
Change your sleep. Change your life. Change to Tempur-Pedic.
We have a tornado on the ground. It's moving. We know you can't control the weather.
That's looking good.
So we build things to harness it.
That's awesome.
They hit the water, game on.
Up here in Southeast Alaska, Coast Guard's last line of defense.
This is about how far you can push yourself.
Currently in our area, 81 degrees under fair skies. Tonight, thunderstorms early, low 75. Chance of rain, 90%. Sunday, sun and a few passing clouds. High 87. Sunday night, mostly clear. Low 76. Winds southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Journey is extraordinary as the destination. The exquisitely designed Lexus ES and ES Hybrid. Unforgettable. Get 0.9% financing on the 2015 ES 350. See your Lexus dealer.
Introducing new Country Time Lemonade Starter with real lemon juice. A fresh new way to make country time.
What's this? A box. It takes worn out things and makes them better. Want to see? Yeah. Cool. What else you got?
It's our biggest breakthrough yet. We're taking worn-out batteries and making them into something strong. New Energizer Eco Advanced. World's first long-lasting battery made with 4% recycled batteries.
Had a headache, but now I don't. Excedrin is fast.
In fact, for some, relief starts in just 15 minutes. Excedrin.
Wow, that was fast.
Think the tree we carved our names in is still here?
That's probably dead.
How much fun is this?
What?
What a beautiful sunset.
If you like sunsets.
Whether you're sweet or salty, you'll love Nature Valley Sweet and Salty Bars.
I think about the shape. I think about color. I also think about sound. I take it into my brain and I think about what would it look like to me? My Tin Man has a big toe the size of a house. The lion is small like a toy poodle and has webbed duck feet. And he is very scared of everything. My scarecrow has wooden teeth, and his fingernails are really long, and his clothes have tubes on them. And that's Dorothy. She looks like me.
Everyone has a favorite movie. Now, people with visual disabilities can find theirs. Comcast is proud to introduce the first talking guide from Xfinity.
Fat Guys in the Woods, new season June 7th on the Weather Channel.
Thanks for staying with us. You are looking live near Cheyenne Wells, Colorado, where we've seen a tornado a few times with our chaser Kelly Williamson. But right now, I want to head over to storm specialist Carl Parker because we have a confirmed tornado just to the southwest of Fort Worth.
Yeah, a very active afternoon and evening as promised yesterday and actually for the last few days. And here's a larger look at what's going on right now. You notice that there are storms firing up in North Texas, across southern Oklahoma, and also reaching up there towards the Oklahoma Panhandle. That's an area that may get more active in the next couple of hours here. So we'll zoom on in and show you where the warnings are. There are tornado warnings now just outside of Texarkana and then just into southern Oklahoma, and also one now just south of of 20, and this is west of Fort Worth. So you see where this is relative to Fort Worth. It's been fairly quiet in the Metroplex so far, but that really could change coming up here in the next hour or two. So here's a look at the tornado warning that is now underway. This is for Erath County, a confirmed tornado, spotted tornado in this case, and this is going until 7:15, and that is going to be headed towards Morgan Mill. I want to show you the high resolution radar here, and we are seeing rotation in this storm now just west of Morgan Mill. It's not quite as tight as it was just a little while ago, but nonetheless could be a tornado very close to Huckabee and Morgan Mill. So please take cover in these areas immediately. We'll go back to the reflectivity here and see if there's any evidence of debris. We're not seeing any evidence of debris right now. Nonetheless, dangerous storm now coming towards Morgan Mill, so please take cover immediately there. Now getting up into southern Oklahoma, another tornado warning for Bryan and Marshall County. So this is north of Dallas and Fort Worth and east of 35, and this is now going until the top of the hour. This is now moving northeast at about 35 miles per hour. Could produce very large hail in addition to a possible tornado. Golf ball size hail is a possibility. Movement there northeast at 25 miles per hour. And then just outside of Texarkana, another tornado warning. This is for Little River County. And as we look at the high resolution radar in this case, you've actually got a series of cells here that are showing rotation. One of them being warned on for a tornado north of Texarkana, but there is now also rotation just west of Texarkana, right in there. You see the couplet in there. We've got a little bit of yellow and then that sort of gray showing up. So there too, we'll need to watch that. That is now just west of Texarkana. We'll need to watch that for a possible tornado as that continues to lift up towards the northeast. So again, looking at the larger picture here, a lot of very strong storms in Oklahoma and Texas, but that's not the only area we've been watching. Also tornado warnings out into the high plains in eastern Colorado, and this is pretty much wide open country. This is Cheyenne County, and that is going until 6:30 Mountain Time. So Torcon index for the rest of tonight, we're talking about a 6 out of 10 in north central Texas, and then it is a 5 out of 10 as you get up farther north and west and up and into Oklahoma. But tomorrow is likely to be another very busy day for a lot of the country. And let's take a look at the setup. So you've got this very strong upper low coming in, along with that low level moisture and humidity driving in from the south, and then very strong winds at a slightly different angle coming up with a slightly different trajectory. And that little bit of turning of the wind with height is what gets us these rotating storms. But that's going to be reaching up and into the upper Midwest tomorrow. So that tornado threat is also going to come up into the upper Midwest. Here's a look at the values, talking about a 5 out of 10 in eastern Nebraska and western Iowa. So that means you towards Des Moines possibly, as well as Omaha and Lincoln. 4 out of 10 in eastern Kansas, and it's going to be a 5 out of 10 in central Texas. So another very big day, we think, tomorrow for severe weather. Alex, over to you.
All right, thank you so much, Carl. We're going to stay tuned with you and Dr. Forbes. Got to talk a little bit about Tropical Storm Ana. You're feeling the effects along coastal parts of North and South Carolina right now. Winds 60 miles an hour. Not anticipating this to strengthen as it gets closer slowly to the coast right now, moving only 3 miles per hour. Winds at a Bowie 40 miles an hour, but on Myrtle Beach it's 21 mile per hour winds, just under that for Wilmington, North Carolina. So what do we have in the forecast for those winds as far as Ana is concerned? Could see gusts 30 to 35 miles an hour, 40 to 50 miles an hour as we get into tomorrow morning, lunchtime, and early afternoon around Myrtle Beach. So those winds are going to be whipping. We've got that surf. We've got the rip currents that are dangerous. So, it's not going to be a day where you want to be out on the beach anyway, but you would definitely not want to get in the water. Tropical storm warnings from parts of central South Carolina all the way up towards the Outer Banks. Charleston under a tropical storm watch because of Ana. And in Wilmington, this is what you've got through tomorrow. Heavy rain and storms, winds over 45 miles an hour for gusts, and rough surf and strong rip currents. Our continuing coverage of our coast-to-coast triple threat, Ana, Winter Storm Venus, and the severe weather continues after this break.
Currently in our area, 80 degrees under fair skies. Tonight, thunderstorms early, low 75. Chance of rain 90%. Sunday, sun and a few passing clouds. High 87. Sunday night, mostly clear. Low 76. Winds southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Right now, a dangerous weather weekend, from severe weather in the plains to our newly named winter storm Venus in the Rockies and Tropical Storm Ana bringing wind and heavy rain to the southeast coast. We are tracking it all. The latest on what it means for your weekend on our special storm coverage. Hi there. Thank you so much for joining us for this extended coverage of our triple threat. I'm meteorologist Alex Wilson. We've got storm specialist Carl Parker, severe weather expert Dr. Greg Forbes. They'll be joining me in just a few moments with the very latest analysis on these major weather stories. But right now, we've got Stephen Denny on the phone. He's a storm chaser, and he is east of Stephenville, Texas, and this area under a tornado watch. And Stephen, are you looking at that storm in Erath County?
Yes, I am.
Okay, now we've got reports of a confirmed tornado on that. Have you been able to spot it?
Not yet. We're a little bit farther away from it. It is coming right towards us right now. I'm a minute away. I can definitely see the lowing. I can see the wall cloud, but like I said, this whole thing's been wrapped in rain the whole time, so it's a little hard to spot at this moment right now. But
absolutely, and so for amateurs, not a time to go out there and try to find this. This is going to be very difficult to see. Stephen, are you in a safe place to view this storm as it works closer to you?
Yes, absolutely.
All right, and what else have you seen thus far today? You know, we talked to you earlier. Have you you spotted a tornado earlier?
Yes. We saw the tornado that did damage right in the Cisco area.
Right, and so you've been following that same storm?
Yes.
All right, and you're going to follow this, I assume, eastward as it works closer towards the Fort Worth area?
Yes, absolutely.
As far as the scene where you are, does it look like it's becoming a little bit more populated as you get closer to Fort Worth?
Yeah, absolutely. It's on a pretty good track right now where it's staying away from some of the cities, but as it gets closer, it's going to be affecting the Granbury and then getting really into being pretty close to the Metroplex and everything. The population in the next hour or so will definitely get more dense.
Absolutely. And Stephen, we've seen the hail tracker with this one possibly bring some large hail. Have you driven through or seen any of that?
We have not punched any hail cores today ourselves. We've stayed south of it. But definitely have had a couple buddies say that they got hit pretty hard by some of that non-spherical stuff, real messy looking stuff. So.
Oh yeah, we've seen some of the pictures, so I think you and your car will be very happy that you have not been through that. Stephen Denny, thank you so much for joining us. We're going to stay tuned with you as that storm works closer to you. Right now, I want to send it over to Dr. Greg Forbes, our severe weather expert.
And that storm, the tornado with that storm, if there is one at the moment, would be Huckabee in Texas. That storm earlier south of Cisco, we have word in that it was a killer tornado. We don't have the complete details yet. Here's the big picture, an upper low that has several lobes of it. At the end, can you see one lobe come southwestbound? That probably tomorrow will be kicking its way northeast. Another lobe, can you see it right at the end there, spinning like crazy, coming into southeast Colorado? That's touched off quite a few tornadoes today. And then the jet stream blasting in some very dry air. But on the flanks of that, north central and northeast Texas, even now into Arkansas, we do have tornadoes. We'll start taking a look here. Look here, here's Denver, blue. We have snow in the mountains just to the west and southwest of Denver, off to the east. Even near Lyman, we had tornadoes earlier. Now still one tornado warning that's getting close to the areas. And this, we've had chasers on this. We've reported from Kelly Williamson. That one is now in Cheyenne County with a tornado warning. It's gone north of Highway 40. When we last talked with him, it is heading up into the area. Pretty rural at the moment, but up toward the area between Bethune and maybe it's turned a little bit to the left toward the Vona area in Colorado. So be on the lookout if you're in that area. Then here is the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. We just talked to the chaser who's on this storm. There are other tornado-warned storms north of Texarkana and over across the border there east of I-35 in southern Oklahoma. So this storm earlier had confirmed tornadoes near Burke Burnett. It has come up into the area near Comanche, Oklahoma, Comanche, Cotton, and Stephen counties. No longer tornado warned at the moment, but these storms can cycle, so be on the lookout in Comanche in case it does develop new rotation. Here's the storm that our chaser that we just talked to was on. Erath County is the warned storm up in the area heading toward north of Morgan Mill could be very large hail, perhaps a baseball size. Then in this little Hook Echo area here, that is getting very close to Huckabay, and we'll come over toward the Morgan Mill, the Bluffdale area. You see the time there in the box at the upper right, Morgan Mill about 7:28 as this storm heads off to the east. Then across the border into Oklahoma from Texas, north of the Red River, Bryan, Johnson, and Marshall counties, the circulation is back in the area around the Kingston area, and so that would take it up toward Lynn and the Nida. I apologize if I'm pronouncing that wrong. Lynn about 7:21. Then over in the area north of Texarkana, storm that has some rotation there. Several storms getting very complicated in this area. Bowie, Little River, and Miller counties. Bowie, I believe, is in Texas with the tornado likely to be heading toward the Paraloma area about at 7:37. We are talking about mostly the severe weather inside this threat area at the moment in these areas like that. But as we go later into the evening, we could fill in a little bit of the coverage down into Texas as we get away from a little bit of that dry air and a little bit into the area of Kansas and Oklahoma as well. So we'll continue to monitor these storms that have been very, very, very ample today. Carl?
Dr. Greg, it's not a very common occurrence that we get a tropical storm making landfall in early May, but that's exactly what is going to be happening tonight. And here is the new advisory from the National Hurricane Center. Now a 60-mile-per-hour storm. It's moving northwest at 3 miles per hour, so a very slow forward movement here. Now, we do not think that it's going to get any stronger. I'll show you why in a moment. There is the official intensity forecast from the National Hurricane Center, so it's probably going to drop down below tropical storm strength tomorrow and probably stay steady for a little bit and then drop overnight tonight. Now, what's happened here in the last 24 hours is that the storm passed right over the Gulf Stream. That's a river of warmer water that is just offshore, and so that supplied energy to the system and allowed it to get stronger and become purely tropical. And now that it's getting away from that and into the cooler shelf waters, that's why it's going to stay steady and then begin to weaken. But the wind is still fairly strong, now gusting to 30 miles per hour and 32 miles per hour Myrtle Beach and Wilmington. We expect that is going to come up over the next couple of hours. There's a look at the center of the storm, now 60 miles southeast of Myrtle Beach, and already some of that heavier rain is coming on shore. So the winds are now gusting to 35 miles per hour in Southport, and as these heavier banding features move in, they're going to transfer down some of the stronger wind that's sitting off the ground, and so it's going to get a lot gustier around Cape Fear as that comes in short order. Same story there in Wilmington. Now, because we've had this easterly flow for a long time, minor coastal flooding is a possibility, maybe 1 or 2 feet, depending on the exact topography. That'll help things out, certainly, or make it worse, depending on exactly how the coastline is shaped. And then rip current risk is going to be high, we think, from Virginia all the way down through the Carolinas, even as the storm is coming in. In fact, it can be worse after a storm begins to move out and get weaker. So there's a look at the wind forecast for tonight and tomorrow morning, and the winds are going to be gusting most likely between 40 and 50 miles per hour in Wilmington and Myrtle Beach tomorrow morning, and that'll go on for a lot of the day tomorrow. And there might be just a little bit of tree damage and maybe some power outages as a result. Alex, over to you.
Thank you so much, Carl. Our coverage of nature's triple threat from coast to coast continues. Ahead, we're talking about the threat of tornadoes for the southern plains and where you should be preparing for severe weather, sometimes in the matter of minutes.
Johnny, even after careers like ours, we're still going strong.
What's your secret, Richard?
Blue Emu.
Oh, I've used Blue Emu for over 10 years. I love their odor-free Blue Emu Continuous Pain Relief Spray.
Me too. It's got an active ingredient to relieve my muscle aches and joint pains.
And soothing emu oil for those hard-to-reach places.
I knew you was a winner.
I'm glad we had this talk.
Blue Emu, it works fast.
And you won't stink.
All we need to sell Strongbow Hard Cider is ice. And an award for best tasting hard cider.
Have you got the shot yet?
Remember that thing about keeping your face behind the award? Strongbow.
Time to sweat, boys. Big time.
Let's get this thing right. This is my one shot.
I have made fire!
Fat Guys in the Woods. The new season starts June 7th, only on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 80 degrees under fair skies. Tonight, thunderstorms early, low 75. Chance of rain, 90%. Sunday, sun and a few passing clouds, high 87. Sunday night, mostly clear, low 76. Winds southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Marcus Lemonis puts up his own money to save failing businesses. The Profit season premiere Tuesday at 10, only on CNBC.
If you've been wishing for something amazing, Cricket Wireless has got it. The new Samsung Galaxy S6 for 0 down with a loan agreement. What more could you wish for? Cricket Wireless, something to smile about.
Let's do this. We start here, talk to her, pick up some of that. A few of those. Okay, a lot of those. Then dirt, plants, water. Just a little time, and then boom. Spring. Big time. Let's do this. Plant color everywhere. 1 quart Vigoril annuals now 4 for just $10. The Home Depot. More saving, more doing.
良質熟練の技革新1000年の歴史を持つ文化が最先端の製造技術を使うと待てよあれこれってクライスラー
Reliability is now an American thing. Introducing the all-new Chrysler 200. America's import. Find it at Chrysler.com.
A lot going on the radar right now. Take a look at this. We are looking off towards the west of the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, and we've got a tornado warning. This one, a confirmed tornado in Erath.
A severe thunderstorm warning has been issued for our area.
Until 7:15 Central Time. So notice this storm continues off to the north and east, and it is working towards some more populated areas. Huckabee around 7:12 Central Time, just after 7:30 for the Morgan Mill area. So if I have said your town's name, make sure you're seeking your safe spot, getting that plan that hopefully you had worked out with your family into action. Tillman and Wichita counties under a severe thunderstorm warning. This right along the Texas-Oklahoma border, including the city of Electra, and around Durant, Bryan, Johnston, and Marshall County under a tornado warning until 7:30 Central Time. So that is going to be working up towards the Durant area. And, notice all the flash flood warnings. Those are those green boxes as well. Heavy rain going to be a huge threat with storms this afternoon. Up into Kansas. Notice we are south of Dodge City. Clark, Gray, and Meade counties under a severe thunderstorm warning. Could see some hail, some winds in excess of 60 miles an hour with this one. And when we look at our hail tracker, you can see this storm has been producing hail as it's worked up into parts of Kansas. You could be seeing hail in excess of quarter size. So that would be what you're looking at when you're dealing with a severe thunderstorm warned storm. Again, notice around the south and east of Oklahoma City and Tulsa, that's where we've got tons of flash flood warnings, another big threat with storms today. But our storm tracker, Jim Cantori, has been out there on the road and in the fields tracking these storms. And Jim,
a severe thunderstorm warning has been issued for our area.
We're actually going east. So what we're trying to do is not necessarily give up on the cells that are in the Oklahoma Panhandle now and heading into southwest Kansas, but maybe try and get down towards some deeper moisture. I don't know if we're going to go south because, quite frankly, the storm that we were watching on I-40 or just north of I-40 doesn't look that great right now. So we may actually play and go north from here and try and intercept some of those cells. There's 3 of them really, with hail cores mostly from what we see and what they're warned on for across this area. So we went for the dry line today. We went for the triple point, and it just didn't, or at least that hasn't yet gone come to fruition. I mean, it's kind of amazing, too, because I look at this storm that's near the Cheyenne Wells area in eastern Colorado, and there's already been about 6 tornadoes on that already. The good news is it's been out in the middle of nowhere. That's what we love to hear, certainly that. But right now, certainly, as you guys have been mentioning, keeping an eye on areas around Wichita Falls. When's the last time we've seen Wichita Falls in a flood warning? It's been a long time, so some very beneficial rain there. But north of Dallas, across the Red River, and certainly west of Dallas, I'm looking at the Amarillo radar, Alex, and I can see the top of that storm that's near Stephenville. Wow. And that's a few hundred miles away. So that is a big storm and certainly a big threat that I think is going to be with us probably toward the Metroplex tonight. We'll let you know on our latest moves, guys, but right now the storm is here that we're chasing.
A severe thunderstorm warning has been issued for our area.
Carl and Dr. Forbes have been watching that one around Dallas-Fort Worth as well. Jim, we'll be checking back in with you. Got to talk about our other story, Winter Storm Venus. Denver under a winter storm warning, and that put us into that criteria that we needed for population to name this. Cheyenne has snow, but in Denver, it's rain right now. Flooding a possibility before we make that transition to snow. There's the forecast for the overnight. Look through the overnight hours. You see snow and those temperatures in the 30s. So big changes for Denver, and there's the winter storm alerts off to the north and east of Rapid City. Blizzard warnings in effect. We're also monitoring Tropical Storm Ana. We'll have more on our triple threat coming up.
Lowe's presents How to Plan for the Future.
Happy Valentine's Day. Happy birthday. Sorry I forgot our anniversary. Happy Mother's Day.
1.5 gallon hanging baskets, now just 2 for $16 at Lowe's.
Doers. They don't worry if something's possible. They just do it. At Sears Optical, we're committed to bringing them eyewear that works as hard as they do. Right now, save up to $200 on eyeglasses. Quality eyewear for doers. Sears Optical.
Hey, pal. You ready? Can you pick me up at 6:30?
I'm here.
Too late.
I'll go for 5 minutes. Move it. Killing me. You know what, Dad?
A severe thunderstorm warning has been issued for our area.
The longest-lasting midsize sedan in its class, the 2015 Subaru Legacy. It's not just a sedan, it's a Subaru.
Hurry! There's a hot offer for heartburn sufferers. Now try Zantac free at ZantacOffers.com. Hurry! It's free this week only. No pill relieves heartburn faster. Get Zantac free at ZantacOffers.com.
TruGreen presents The Yardleys.
Hello? You did? You really? Ding dong. Oh, the pizza's here. Hey, come on in. Right. Whoa! Lose the sneakers, pal. Kind of a thing.
This is more than a lawn. This is a TruGreen lawn.
Sorry.
Live life outside with TruGreen, America's #1 lawn care company. Spring is on. Start your TruGreen lawn plan today.
Bye now.
TruGreen. Live life outside.
Control the weather. That's looking good. So we build things to harness it. That's awesome. They hit the water. Game on. Up here in Southeast Alaska, Coast Guard's last line of defense. This is about how far you can push yourself.
Bahamas Paradise Cruise Line, sailing from the Port of Palm Beach, has exciting cruise rates for Florida residents and visitors on multiple cruise dates with prices of just $149 for all interior cabins and just $169 for all ocean view cabins. You'll sail on Florida's newest, most flexible, and best Bahamas cruise. Your 2-night cruise will include delicious dining, some of the best live shows at sea, lots of fun, lots of pampering, and an exciting day in the Bahamas. If you're looking for a longer vacation, add 2 or 4 nights at the all-inclusive, beautiful Grand Lucayan Resort to your cruise. Enjoy spectacular white sand beaches, family fun, fine dining, golf, and so much more. Call 800-814-7100 to book your Bahamas Paradise Cruise from just $149. Ask about all of our May concerts and events. Call 800-814-7100. That's 800-814-7100.
Stay tuned for your Local on the 8s, brought to you by Staybill 360 Performance. The next level of performance is in the Vapor.
Deep
In the dark, untouched recesses of your engine is power you never knew it could produce. And Vapor can set it free. New Stable 360 Performance unleashes that exclusive Vapor technology that rises above the fuel line to protect your engine where other additives can't. To help keep your engine running cleaner, leaner, smoother, and stronger than ever. The next level of performance is in the Vapor Stable 360 Performance.
A severe thunderstorm warning has been issued for our area.
Our weekend triple threat, one of the main events is the severe weather. I want to send it over to storm specialist Carl Parker for more on where the storms are.
You know, there's a lot of very strong wind in the low and mid levels of the atmosphere today, and when you've got that change in wind speed and wind direction with height, that's how you get storms rotating, and we've certainly got that environment today. So where the storms have been popping up, a lot of them have been rotating. Right now, storms located west of Dallas, north of Dallas, over towards Texarkana, and got a little string of storms also up into western Kansas, and we're going to want to keep our eyes on those. So we'll begin with a look at North Texas and southern Oklahoma. You see the warnings here. Those are severe thunderstorm warnings in yellow and tornado warnings in red, and we'll start with the one that is west of Dallas. There was a spotted tornado with this storm not very far away from Stephenville, and you see where this is relative to Fort Worth, so you want to stay on your toes there in Fort Worth as this weather comes up and along I-20. There's Erath County under tornado warning, and we're still seeing a very strong circulation now coming into Morgan Mill and Route 28. Here is the high resolution radar, and so right in there, that's where you've got the circulation inflow notch in here, and we are still seeing a very pronounced rotation on the radar picture. So right at the interface there might be a couple of little rotations right in there, and in fact when we look at the normalized rotation, we're seeing exactly that, a couple of different centers within that larger rotation. But right now we're not seeing much evidence of debris on the radar picture, but nonetheless dangerous storm west of Morgan Mill and Route 28. So if you're there, please take cover immediately. Brand new scan coming in right now, and still seeing a very strong broader parent rotation and then some smaller rotations within that, but again still not seeing much in the way of debris, at least on at this time in the radar. But there was a spotted tornado with that storm. Now, north of Dallas and Fort Worth, another tornado warning here is just over the Red River in southern Oklahoma, and that is getting ready to come into Durant. So that's Bryan, Johnston counties under tornado warning. And notice the circulation right in here. It's just west of Durant. So if you're along 70 in Meade or in Durant, please take cover immediately here as well. This is moving a little north of east, northeast now 25 miles per hour. Could also be ping pong ball size hail along with that storm. And then over into Texarkana, a couple of different tornado warnings here. One of them now in the Texarkana metro, but lifting north. So that's Bowie, Little River, and Miller counties under tornado warning. And then west of that, also a tornado warning for the same counties, and that is moving northeast. Here's a look at the high resolution radar. We're looking at the velocity mode here, and that cell that's lifting away from Texarkana actually showing a couple of areas of rotation within it, and you see more here just off to the west. So a lot of these cells are showing rotation. This is really indicative of the environment that we've got today. Because you've got this high shear environment, a lot of the cells want to rotate, and that's going to be an ongoing threat for the next few hours. Also, a severe warning east of Denver along I-70. This was tornado warned earlier. Now just looking out for some large hail and possibly some damaging winds. So here's the area of concern for tonight. Torcon index of 6 out of 10 in north central Texas, and then it's going to be a 5 out of 10 as you get up into the panhandle there. But tomorrow, another big day, Alex, and it's going to extend up into Iowa tomorrow. Could be more tornadoes tomorrow. Over to you.
All right, so get those plans in action. I know tomorrow's Mother's Day. You've got lots of plans to be outside with mom, treat her, but make sure you know what to do should a severe storm warning be issued for your area. Tropical Storm Ana, one of our other big stories, going to make landfall sometime into the overnight hours, early morning hours of your Sunday. Right now, winds at 60 miles per hour with this one moving off towards the northwest, 3 miles an hour, so very slowly. Right now, we're seeing the winds, Myrtle Beach, 23 miles per hour, 18 miles an hour in Wilmington. Offshore, though, up to 40 miles per hour. And Ana is going to be bringing that persistent onshore wind, so that means dangerous rip currents in addition to the heavy rain and wind, so stay out of the water. Our coverage of your weekend triple threat continues right here on the Weather Channel. Severe Tropical Storm Ana and our newly named Winter Storm Venus. We've got it all covered.
Heartburn. Did someone say burn? Try Alka-Seltzer Relief Chews. They work just as fast and are proven to taste better than Tums Smoothies assorted fruit.
Amazing.
Yeah, I get that a lot. Alka-Seltzer Heartburn Relief Chews. Enjoy the relief.
These days, you may be hearing more about data breaches in the news. It's possible your personal information may be at risk. Research shows that if your information is compromised due to a data breach, you are 6 times more likely to become a victim of identity theft. Now is the time to get protection. Sign up today, and LifeLock will begin monitoring your personal information, including your social security number, alert you about suspicious activity, and, if needed, take steps to help restore your losses.
You only have one identity. Protect it with the best. LifeLock.
When the moment's spontaneous, why pause to take a pill? Or stop to find a bathroom? Cialis for daily use is approved to treat both erectile dysfunction and the urinary symptoms of BPH, like needing to go frequently, day or night. Tell your doctor about all your medical conditions and medicines and ask if your heart is healthy enough for sex. Do not take Cialis if you take nitrates for chest pain, as it may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Do not drink alcohol in excess. Side effects may include headache, upset stomach, delayed backache, or muscle ache. To avoid long-term injury, get medical help right away for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. If you have any sudden decrease or loss in hearing or vision, or any symptoms of an allergic reaction, stop taking Cialis and get medical help right away. Ask your doctor about Cialis for daily use and the free 30-tablet trial.
Now with a full line of independent rear suspension options, the Foreman, Rubicon, and Rancher automatic DCT models are equally ready to work and have fun. Part of the growing ATV family from Honda. Now get low fixed financing rates plus up to $500 in bonus bucks during the Honda Dream Garage sales event.
My budget was always second-guessing me when I'd buy stuff for the family. Fingerhut, 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 Fingerhut. At Fingerhut.com, we can shop with low monthly payments, over 200,000 items and growing from brands like Samsung, Lego, and KitchenAid. Just click on over to Fingerhut.com to get the credit you deserve and great stuff for your family. Oh, not Fingerhut. I got that at a garage sale for $1.
Introducing new Flonase Allergy Relief Nasal Spray. This changes everything. New Flonase outperforms a leading allergy pill, so you will inhale life. When we breathe in allergens, our bodies react by overproducing 6 key inflammatory substances that cause our symptoms. Most allergy pills only control one substance. Flonase controls 6, and 6 is greater than 1. So roll down your windows, hug your pet, dust off some memories, make new ones. New Flonase. 6 is greater than 1. This changes everything.
Where you get your weather matters.
This is a large and dangerous tornado.
Real local.
We are live in Oklahoma.
Real accurate.
This one's going to have some precipitation with it.
Real experts.
Wow, that's the leading edge of the thunderstorm. This is basically what makes the Weather Channel
Keep the Weather Channel on. Here at the Weather Channel.
The Weather Channel is out in full force today.
Only the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 81 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, mostly clear, low 75. Sunday, partly cloudy, high 87. Winds southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Sunday night, a mostly clear sky, low 76. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Fat Guys in the Woods, new season June 7th on the Weather Channel.
We are looking live in Burke Burnett, Texas, where these folks are driving in some very heavy rain. KFOR TV providing the view, and this area had been under a warning. Now the storm moving off towards the east, but still dealing with a very dark sky and at least the rain working through, making it very tough to see on the roadways. We welcome you back to our extended coverage of our weekend triple threat. I'm meteorologist Alex Wilson. We've got severe, we've got snow, and we've got a tropical storm. It was an ominous sight, though, during yesterday's severe weather in northeast Texas. Storm chasers spotted this tornado that dropped from the clouds in the town of Bowie, Texas. One of the areas that we've been watching today for more storms, and more storms also mean more rain. So flash flooding, a big threat, along with hail, damaging winds, and tornadoes today. But our Torcon values are as high as 60% chance of a tornado within 50 miles. Want to send it over now to our severe weather expert, Dr. Greg Forbes, for more.
Indeed, and we still have tornado warnings in Texas and Arkansas. I believe even in a little bit. At times we've had even in parts of southern Oklahoma with dangerous storms. The storms in Colorado have been along the east edge of the big cold upper low that is spiraling its way. You can sort of see the rotation here in this, what we call water vapor imagery, that lets us see the moisture in the mid and upper levels of the atmosphere. Then you see this dry surge just charging into parts of Texas and Oklahoma behind the thunderstorms that hit overnight and this morning. And along the edge of that, thunderstorms have popped back up this afternoon west of Dallas. They'll be heading toward Dallas. I'll time that out momentarily. But take a look here. The winds at the surface. Gulf of Mexico is warm, is wide open, is what I'm trying to say, with warm air all the way up into east central Colorado. But you go north of that, it's much cooler, and it's not as warm in Kansas and Oklahoma as it is in Texas. There was some of those morning storms have indeed left conditions on the cool side, and the dry line comes in right about there. You see the wind streams colliding, and those have fired up some of the storms. Here's Denver, south and west there, blue. We're getting snow. The last of our severe warned storm that produced a lot of tornadoes earlier, no longer tornado warned, but Kit Carson County off to the west of Burlington. That's a storm that earlier produced a lot of tornadoes. Now in southern Oklahoma, in the area west of south and west of Fort Worth, and several storms now north and east of the Texarkana area are where we have tornado warnings at the moment. We earlier had a storm that came up across the Burke Burnett area. We showed you some video of the rain there. That storm is now Grady, Jefferson, and Stevens counties. Still has a little bit of an appendage north of Waurika, Oklahoma, but not tornado warned. It's severe warned. Look at this one, though. Look at the spiral there. This could be a rain-wrapped tornado there. Earlier, this one has produced several tornadoes. Erath County, around the Morgan Mill area, you're under tornado warning. Right now, it's around Morgan Mill, heading toward the Tolar, the Pecan Plantation area, and broadening out Stephenville, just to your north right about now. Cleburne, 1045, 151 Enos. You see there south of the Fort Worth area. We have a live picture there at the left from a chaser that is on this storm near and just to the north of Stephenville, Texas. He's riding right along the south edge of the storm, with off to the left there. You're obviously seeing some of that the storm cloud off to his left. I think the picture came into the screen before I was looking up from my monitor. I'm not sure if we had a tornado or any kind of lowering of the cloud there. He's angling a little bit there, but certainly a dark cloud hanging down over the scene there, and certainly the possibility of a tornado. There had been a tornado reported a few moments ago at just before about a half hour ago, actually, now in the area just to the west of the Huckabee area, and that is now heading, it's right around the Morgan Mill area, and that's going to head toward the area south of the Fort Worth metro area. continue to monitor this. I've tracked this out in the big picture. You see here Fort Worth and then Dallas. So unless this makes a left turn, it's going to head more toward Granbury and the Cleburne area, the Waxahachie areas, and down at the very bottom there, if you can read it, the times for those, the Granbury area and Cleburne south of the Fort Worth area about 10:45. Here's the storm in detail. Had been a tornado there. Look at the big hail core with this, so no wonder it's so dark. But when I show you the velocities on this, there at times has been some very strong rotation. There still is right here. That's a tornado vortex signature. Then all of this red and green is the strong gust front. There could be some damaging winds in the area east of Huckabay with that. I'll go back to the way we normally look at the radar, and you can see that this protrusion here is the rear flank downdraft that has surged around. The tornado here likely to be rain wrapped. Maybe if you're just north of Morgan Mill, you might see a tornado coming. I don't advise that. Heading over to the Tolar area, you could definitely get killed if the tornado intensifies that way. Up into southern Oklahoma, Bryan County, around the Durant and up towards Silo, Caddo areas, you have a tornado warning. This is sort of in between radars, so it's a little bit fuzzy looking. Confirmed tornado with this one near Silo at this point. So beyond the, if you're Silo or north and east of there, take shelter. Then there are 3 tornado warnings in the area north and west, and then north and east of Texarkana in Arkansas, Bowie, Little River, and Sevier counties with a tornado warning there. Coming up toward the Locksburg area, Millrose about 8:38. Then additional storms that are coming up across just to the north of Texarkana, and I think probably these 2 warnings are for this same storm that's bridging the gap there between Bowie, Little River, and Miller counties. We also have a new tornado warning that came in for Oklahoma, Atoka, and Bryan counties as well. This storm looks like it would be around Millwood right now, coming up toward Nashville, Arkansas, about 8:35. Here's the outlook for today. We have these storms rolling across, especially now, southeast parts of Colorado, and weakening as they get into cooler air, and then across this corridor near the Red River from Texas and Oklahoma into parts of Arkansas. Tomorrow, Iowa will be on the lookout. The surface low, the unstable. Again, parts of central, parts of Texas. Let's go back now to Alex.
Yep.
I guess it is.
Thank you, Dr. Forbes. We're taking a look at Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, where you see the sun has gone down, but the wind's still whipping. Rip currents, gusty winds, rain, and high surf, all threatening beach locations like Myrtle Beach. Let's head over to storm specialist Carl Parker for more on Tropical Storm Ana.
Alex, it is a fairly rare occurrence to get a tropical storm making landfall in early May, but that's exactly what's going to happen overnight tonight. And right now we're watching a 60-mile-per-hour storm that is slowly moving northwest at 3 miles per hour. The intensity of the storm is going to be steady for a bit, and then it's going to come down as we go through tonight and during the day tomorrow. Will most likely weaken below tropical storm force by late tomorrow. The reason why it became a tropical storm to begin with is because it passed over the very warm waters of the Gulf Stream. It's like a river of warm water within the ocean, and now it's into relatively cooler shelf water, so it's not getting the same amount of fuel, same amount of energy, but there's still a fair amount of wind out there. Winds now gusting to 32 miles per hour in Wilmington, 30 miles per hour in Myrtle Beach, and the core of that storm, again, about 60 miles to the south and east of Myrtle Beach, and we're now seeing some of the banding coming into Cape Fear and Southport, and where you've got that heavier rain, as that moves in, we'll see some of the stronger wind that's off the ground coming down. So it's going to get windier in Cape Fear and in Wilmington overnight tonight as the center of circulation comes in. We've been watching this easterly and northeasterly flow for a very long time that's been kicking up the surf. We'll get some minor coastal flooding in some areas, a foot or two at the very most. Rip current threat's going to go on for a while. That'll continue into tomorrow, even as the storm is moving in and weakening. And then you've also got wind to be concerned about. Winds gusting to perhaps 40 to 50 miles per hour in Wilmington and in Myrtle Beach. This is going into tomorrow morning, so that could be enough wind to cause some problems, maybe some branches coming down, some power lines coming down, and that strong wind could continue out of the south there in Wilmington right into tomorrow evening, going into about 6 o'clock tomorrow evening. Finally, by very late tomorrow, wind begins to relent somewhat, and we'll probably not see a tremendous amount of rain with the system as it moves in. Alex, over to you.
Thank you so much, Carl. We are talking about about more severe weather across parts of the plains today. Have another tornado warning to tell you about, this one in Kansas, a reported rope tornado with this one. Notice it's just off towards the east of Quinter and working off towards the north. Gove, Graham, and Sheridan counties under that tornado warning until 8 o'clock. Cities including Bryant at 7:38 local time. We'll be right back.
Currently in our area, 81 degrees with thunderstorms in the area. Tonight, mostly clear, low 75. Sunday, partly cloudy, high 87. Winds southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Sunday night, a mostly clear sky, low 76. Here's our 7-day outlook.
We take our showers with it. We make our coffee with it. But we rarely tap its true potential and just let it be itself. Flowing freely into clean lakes, clear streams, and along more freshwater coastline than any other state in the country. Come realize water's true potential. Dive in to the waters of pure Michigan. Your trip begins at michigan.org.
Need new tires? Right now at Pep Boys, when you get 3 Falcon, Cooper, or Hankook tires, you get the 4th tire free instantly. Plus, get no interest and paid in full within 6 months on your Pep Boys credit card. Trust the boys to get you there.
Shopping online is as easy as it gets. Wouldn't it be great if hiring plumbers, carpenters, and even piano tuners were just as simple? Thanks to Angie's List, now it is. Start shopping online from a list of top-rated providers.
Visit Angie'sList.com today.
It may seem strange, but people really can love their laxative, especially when it's Miralax. It hydrates, eases, and softens to unblock your system naturally, so you have peace of mind from start to finish. Love your laxative, Miralax.
There are nearly 4 million miles of road in this country. They lead us home and away to places we love and places that need our love.
Houses are literally obliterated.
That's where you'll find RAM and the First Response Team of America, helping storm survivors.
We've got a lot of equipment in town.
And restoring hope.
Thank you!
Follow the team's journey all this year on the Weather Channel and weather.com. RAM and the First Response Team of America, dedicated to the road to recovery.
1 can of Bush's beans. Well, this is a predicament. Home style sounds good, but country style not without its charms. Brown sugar hickory? Who says no to hickory? Not this guy. New sweet heat? Sure. There are no rules here. No rules on aisle 4.
Our new sweet heat is cooked according to our secret family recipe with a sweet and spicy chili sauce.
Did you get a can of Bush's beans?
Yes, I did.
Bush's Beans. What's your favorite flavor?
I've seen hurricanes, floods, I've seen tornadoes. We give out Duracell batteries after the worst happens. And when the power's out for days, we stay with them. You might say they lost everything, but that's not what I see. I see a different kind of power. I saw it in Ruth, Adam, Tom. It's the power they have inside of them. The power to move forward.
At Duracell, we believe that's the power that never, ever goes out.
If you've been wishing for something amazing, Cricket Wireless has got it. The new Samsung Galaxy S6 for 0 down with a loan agreement. What more could you wish for? Cricket Wireless, something to smile about.
Got those 2, couple of these, that's... Oh.
Right now, PetSmart has great deals on select toys and treats you and your kids love. Because pethood's better with a partner.
Next.
Expected wait time, 55 minutes.
minute. Your call is important to us. Thank you for your patience.
In the nation, we know how it feels when you aren't treated like a priority. We do things differently.
We'll take care of it.
We put members first.
Thank you.
Join the nation.
Nationwide is on your side.
A lot of alerts, warnings coming up on the radar from Kansas and Colorado down into Oklahoma and Texas. We take you right now towards North Texas, southern Oklahoma. We've seen a few tornado warnings over near the Texarkana area, but this one right into Erath County. This is going to be working closer to the Fort Worth area, so getting into some more populated territory, including the city of Morgan Mill until 7:45 Central Time. Likely not going to see this because there is a lot of rain, so perhaps a rain-wrapped tornado on this one. Severe thunderstorm warnings, flash flood warnings in effect off towards the west. You can see that storm working right over Morgan Mill, now just off towards the east, eventually working towards Granbury at about 8:43 local time, 9:15 around Pecan Plantation. So these are the areas that need to be watching for this one. Up to the north, a severe thunderstorm warning for Grady, Jefferson, and Stevens County in Oklahoma, including the city of Comanche and Duncan. You see them possibly dealing with some hail, although the heaviest or largest hail likely off towards your south on 81. Could see hail in excess of a quarter. This computer estimating hail up to 3 inches, so even at 2 inches, we're talking about hen egg-sized hail. Texarkana, Bowie, Little River, and Miller counties under a tornado warning. This includes Texarkana. This right along the Oklahoma-Texas state line, so you got to watch if you're in these areas. Traveling along 30, you are seeing the rain, perhaps some hail from this severe warned storm along 82. There's a look at where we might also be seeing some hail north and northeast of Ashdown. So plenty of areas around Texarkana dealing with rough weather. Hail size could be in excess of a quarter. Again, up to golf ball or ping pong ball sized hail with this one. Want to check in with our storm tracker, Jim Cantori. He is out there in the field tracking these storms. You know, we've checked in with you in the panhandle of Oklahoma. Jim, you said you were on the move. Where are you going?
Yeah, we went back to the north. We're the two cells that are in the southern parts of Kansas. We are heading back north, so we're almost on the Kansas line. Last time we talked to you, we were almost on the Texas line. So we gave up on the southern storm, and actually it's kind of interesting because it looks like now we've actually seen a tornado warning, a couple of them actually up there in northwestern Kansas. So right there around the Quinter area, just to the southwest of Moreland as well. Waukene, actually it looks like a train spotter has actually reported a tornado as well with that storm, so be careful up in that neck of the woods. It's been kind of interesting, guys. You know, we watched this big area of thunderstorms this morning work its way through and stabilize, you know, what certainly could have been one of the hotter areas today for tornadoes, but they've really developed, as we noticed, down to the south. We've got a report of a fatality down now toward the Cisco area, which is awful there to the east of Abilene. That huge storm that's coming toward the south of Fort Worth. But right now, the storms that we're on, which are up to the northwest of Englewood, which is the one we're on right now, trying to get to, has had a history of hail. The hail has been 1 inch to 1.25 inches, and that's pretty much been it. It's multicellular. There's not one singular core, Alex. So you know, this is great because an area that was really scary looking about 28 hours to 36 hours ago in terms of what it could have produced really hasn't done much yet. Now, that said, some of the models do light this area up tonight, and what we're seeing in the north central part of Kansas, Alex, could be the beginning of that in terms of the tornado that we're seeing now up there in northwestern Kansas. So, guys, we'll keep you posted right now. Again, a couple of cells we're watching with right now a history of hail right around 1 inch, so minimal severe hail at this point. Back to you.
All right, thank you so much, Jim. We'll check in again with you. And look at this. You know, we've been talking about our triple weather threat. We've got the severe, we've got Tropical Storm Ana, we've also got snow. Winter Storm Venus bringing snow to Mount Rushmore, South Dakota today. We saw the snow start yesterday in California, but now places in South Dakota are really going to see some heavy snowfall totals. So let's talk about Venus and exactly what we've got on tap and when. It's going to be into the overnight and tomorrow, especially for you folks in South Dakota, where we could see 12 to 18 inches around Rapid City, perhaps over 2 feet off towards the north and east of there. So we are going to be watching this. We've got the winter storm warnings, the blizzard warnings in effect all across the west. Temperatures down to 29 in Cheyenne, 33 in Rapid City, 38 in Denver, where we've got rain, but it'll transition to snow. We'll talk more about our triple threat coming up after the break.
You could sit at your computer and read all about zero-turn mowers. Click, scroll, tweet, or you could just sit on a John Deere Z435 Easy Track and feel its power. You'll know it'll get the job done fast. When it's time to pick a mower, you've got to get on one. Visit your local John Deere dealer for a test drive today. Sign up to take your turn on an Easy Track zero-turn mower at your John Deere dealer and save $100 on your purchase.
Control the weather. That's looking good. So we build things to harness it. That's awesome.
They hit the water. Game on.
Up here in Southeast Alaska, Coast Guard's last line of defense.
This is about how far you can push yourself.
Currently in our area, 81 degrees with thunderstorms in the area. Tonight, mostly clear, low 75. Sunday, partly cloudy, high 87. Winds southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Sunday night, a mostly clear sky, low 76. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Strongbow Hard Cider is ice. And an award for best tasting hard cider.
Have you got the shot yet?
Remember that thing about keeping your face behind the award? Strongbow.
The most legendary name in paint is now at Lowe's.
What is his name?
Oh, it's HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams.
Is he more famous than me?
It's the name everyone wants on their wall.
Well, now there's room for all of us.
Sure.
Back to the happy tree?
But nothing looks better on ceilings either.
Come again?
So if you're looking for the most legendary name in paint... What? I said if you're...
I can't hear you.
Never mind. HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams is now at Lowe's.
Doers. They don't worry if something's possible. They just do it. At Sears Optical, we're committed to bringing them eyewear that works as hard as they do. Right now, save up to $200 on eyeglasses. Quality eyewear for doers. Sears Optical.
So, if you have a flat tyre, dead battery, need a tow or lock your keys in the car, Geico's Emergency Roadside Assistance is there 24/7. Oh dear, I got a flat tyre. Yeah, can you find a take where it's a bit more dramatic on that last line, yeah?
Yeah, I got it right here.
Someone help me! I have a flat tyre!
Well, it's good for me. What do you think?
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Replacing old drain lines used to mean tearing up floors and walls and digging a huge trench in your house. But not anymore. Now there's trenchless drain line repair. Our trenchless pipelining method creates a new permanent pipe inside the existing pipe. A liner saturated with epoxy is inserted into the pipe. A bladder is inflated until the epoxy hardens to form a new pipe inside the old pipe. It's removed and the pipe is ready for use. Better than new. Need a drain line repair? Go trenchless. Call Quick Plumbers today.
Xfinity sales professionals are always on the go, meeting new people every day. They're helping families get the latest Xfinity products and services. And they're making customers happy. Jumpstart your career with the best sales training in the industry. Great benefits like discounts on your own Xfinity services and the potential for high earnings. Have what it takes? Apply today and see what doors open for you.
Boys in the Woods. New season June 7th on the Weather Channel.
Thanks for staying with us tonight as we track this weekend triple threat. You're looking live near Cheyenne Wells, Colorado. Difficult to see much of anything, but you do see rain on the windshield. Those windshield wipers are working. We've seen severe and tornado-warned storms into eastern Colorado, parts of Kansas and Oklahoma, as well as Texas. So we are watching it all for you. Want to turn it over to storm specialist Carl Parker for the latest severe weather update.
All right, so still a lot of tornado warnings right now, Alex, to the north of Dallas and Fort Worth, to the west, and that's the area that we're concerned about most right now. Let's drop down and show you where the tornado warning is, and it's south of I-10. We did have a reported tornado along with this storm. This is Erath and Hood counties under warning until 8:15, and the movement here is east, I believe, at about 25 miles per hour. I'm going to double check that for you. And so that's coming right across Route 377 east at 20 miles per hour. In addition to a tornado, we're talking about the possibility of tennis ball size hail, and we've seen this very large circulation in the storm. We're still looking at that. Also looking at strong RFD winds, as we call them, coming into Bluffdale right now, getting into Tolar. So right in here, got a real surge of wind coming forward, inflow right there, and tornadoes like to sit right in that interface between those two. Right now, as we look at the normalized rotation, we're not seeing as concentrated of an area of rotation, but certainly there is a wind threat, and again, that's going to be coming up and along 377. Now, we'll take you much farther north and up into Oklahoma, southern Oklahoma. Tornado warning here, and that is now right along Route 69. That's Atoka, Bryan counties under warning until 8 p.m. And we'll take a look at the inside of that circulation there, or look inside the storm, I should say, and seeing a circulation right now near Caddo, and again moving northeast. Also up into Texarkana, a couple of tornado warnings here. One for Bowie, Little River, and Sevier counties. That's going until 8 p.m. Could be Bowie, sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. Hempstead County also under tornado warning, so that includes Hope, Arkansas, and that's going until 8:15. And then there is a severe thunderstorm warning for Texarkana, and that's now moving down into 69. So we've got some strong wind on the way there in Texarkana, just off to your north and west, and getting ready to come in short order. Now, I also want to show you what's going on in Kansas, because storms have really lit up here just within the last hour. Bunch of tornado warnings to tell you about in this area. Clark Meade under tornado warning right now. That's going until 8:15. And so that little notch is right around 283, and that's going to be coming up towards Bloom as that moves northeast. That's now moving at 25 miles per hour. Then well north of that, just south of I-70, Gove, Logan counties under tornado warning until 8:30. And then here north of I-70, Trago County under warning until 8 p.m. So you've got an atmosphere that is really conducive to rotating storms, and we think there are going to be more of these going through tonight. Torcon 6 for north central Texas, and it's 5 up into the panhandle there, Oklahoma, and also into southwestern parts of Kansas. But tomorrow is likely to be another very big day. You've got a lot of shear once again, very strong low-level winds just above the ground, coming in at a slightly different angle relative to the surface wind flow. And it's that change in wind direction and wind speed with height that leads to rotating storms. So the Torcon values are fairly high again tomorrow. We're talking about a 5 out of 10 here in central and western parts of Iowa and eastern Nebraska. That means you in Omaha and Lincoln. And then we're looking at a 4 out of 10 along 44 in southwestern Missouri. Alex, over to you.
All right, Carl, thank you so much. Tropical Storm Ana, one of our other threats that we are tracking this evening. Right now, winds 60 miles an hour, moving northwest at 3 miles per hour. We do not expect this to strengthen anymore, as it is coming into contact with some cooler ocean waters right along the coast. But you're already seeing the effects, and you will continue to see the effects as we head into the early morning hours of your Sunday and Sunday morning as that makes landfall. Right now, winds at 23 miles an hour in Wilmington and at Myrtle Beach, over 35 miles an hour at this Bowie offshore. So we've got the winds, we've got the rain that will continue, and the surf has been high, as well as the rip current danger really elevated. Look at these winds into this evening and overnight. Myrtle Beach, 40 to 50 miles an hour at times. Wilmington, same for you as we get into lunchtime tomorrow. Hatteras, 20 to 25 mile per hour winds gusting. All right, you've got tropical storm warnings from Morehead City all the way down towards south of Myrtle Beach, probably around the Georgetown area. No longer tropical storm watch for the Charleston area. But in Wilmington, this is what you've got. Periods of heavy rain and storms, gusty winds over 45 miles an hour, and rough surf and strong rip currents. Thanks so much for joining us for our special continuing coverage of the weekend triple threat. Kelly Cass is up next to bring you the latest on these impacts.
Currently in our area, 77 degrees with a thunderstorm. Tonight, mostly clear, low 75. Sunday, partly cloudy, high 87. Winds southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Sunday night, a mostly clear sky, low 76. Here's our 7-day outlook.
A dangerous weather weekend, and you need to be on alert. From powerful tornadoes and thunderstorms in the plains to Tropical Storm Ana, bringing wind and heavy rain along the southeast coast. We're also tracking snow and